Well, Bishop Police Department Chief Chris Carter responded Monday to the letter of no confidence issued by Bishop officers. Now, following are some excerpts from the letter by Chief Carter. He said, quote, "I'm going to address the letter filed by 7 members of the Bishop Police Department on Thursday, 17th of September. It is my understanding there will be an official investigation, as well there should be, and I welcome it because I know what the truths of these allegations are. I have been advised that because some of these allegations might amount to misconduct or even criminal conduct, I'm not obliged to make any statement and should not proceed without legal counsel. While I recognize the validity of this advice, I cannot and will not remain silent on this issue." Chief Carter's letter continues. "I would like the citizens of Bishop and any others who are concerned to take into account a couple of things. One being that I announced my retirement in July. These officers have had 2 months in the interim to go public with their complaints and concerns, and yet they chose to make these allegations on the day I left on a scheduled vacation and 2 weeks prior to my official retirement date. This isn't a coincidence. Their goal has nothing to do with bettering the department or exposing corruption. I believe this letter is a smear campaign, plain and simple." Chief Carter's letter continues. "Over the past year, the department became divided from within. Some of that division was caused by events as outlined in the officer's letter. While Dan Nolan was and still is one of my most trusted friends, I can assure you that I handled that incident appropriately and professionally. An outside investigator was called in to conduct the investigation. The city's legal counsel was advised and kept appraised throughout the process, and the proper discipline was administered." Chief Carter's letter continues. "Unfortunately, trust within the agency was damaged. I'm likely responsible for some of that damage because I refused to let Dan's mistake be the last word in an otherwise stellar career, and I also refused to turn my back on him as a friend, as some of these officers suggested was an appropriate response. I offer no apologies for being or having a loyal friend." The letter continues. "I have no tolerance for those who still think this is a Little League game. Not everybody gets a trophy or promotion for just showing up. We keep score here in the majors, and I run a performance-based system. I do play favorites. My favorites are those people who consistently give 111% and who solve problems and don't whine about having to do their job." Chief Carter's letter continues. "I will offer the opinion that for these officers to address their concerns in this manner is absolutely unprofessional, and it might go a long way to explaining why none of them got a promotion. Any claim that officers are afraid of retaliation is nothing but an excuse." There are many other allegations in the letter that will prove to be completely false, especially those that would call into question the integrity or character of Jim Tatum, Joe Pexi, or any other member of the Bishop Police Department. The letter says, "In closing, I offer the following. I have done nothing illegal, unethical, or immoral as your chief of police. I continue to serve at the pleasure of the City Council and will continue to do so while my replacement is sought." And that is signed by Bishop Police Department Chief Chris Carter. Now, Chris Carter's letter is posted on our website, sierrawave.net, as is the letter from the 7 Bishop Police Department officers. Well, a Mammoth Lakes man, Edgar Lee Weaver Jr., was sentenced Monday in Mammoth Lakes Court for a violation of gross vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated for the killing of Rebecca Dempsey. She was 21 and from England. The case was handled by Mono County Assistant District Attorney Dave Anderson, who argued that Weaver should spend the maximum sentence allowed by law of 6 years in prison for the offense. The press release from the Mono County District Attorney's Office states that after the court weighed all the evidence and considered the parties' arguments, the court sentenced Weaver to 4 years in state prison. Ms. Dempsey was killed on October 6, 2014 in Mammoth Lakes after accepting an invitation from Weaver to ride as a passenger on his motorcycle. Weaver, the press release notes, lost control of his motorcycle on Meridian Boulevard just before the Meadow Ridge condos. Weaver had a blood alcohol level of .22, and a speed investigation concluded that he was driving at a minimum of 76 miles per hour in a posted 40-mile-per-hour zone when he lost control going into a sharp curve. Ms. Dempsey was pronounced dead upon arrival at Mammoth Hospital. Ms. Dempsey arrived in Mammoth a few months earlier on a work visa after graduating from a university in England in May of 2014. She was scheduled to return home the following week. Ms. Dempsey's mother, father, sister, and aunt traveled from England to be present at sentencing and spoke to their difficulty in the past year. Additionally, a number of Ms. Dempsey's friends made the trip from all over California to show their support. Ms. Dempsey's mother, Karen, also thanked the Mammoth Lakes community for the overwhelming support shown to them and their daughter. Weaver was remanded into the custody of the Mono County Sheriff for transport to the California Department of Corrections. And a Mammoth Lakes man, Michael Bruce Bryant, was arrested for felony assault Monday night at the Ski Trails Mobile Home Park in Mammoth. Mammoth Lakes police officers, along with Mono County paramedics and Mammoth Lakes Fire Department personnel, responded to the Ski Trails Mobile Home Park for a report of a man who had suffered a head injury as a result of being pushed down the stairs. The press release from the Mammoth Lakes Police Department states that upon arrival, officers found the victim, a 61-year-old Mammoth Lakes resident, unconscious and unresponsive and bleeding from his head. Officers learned that an altercation had occurred prior to their arrival and ultimately took Michael Bruce Bryant, age 49, of Mammoth Lakes, into custody. Bryant was transported to the Mono County Jail in Bridgeport, where he was booked for felony assault by means of force likely to produce great bodily injury, as well as a misdemeanor Mono County warrant. Bryant's bail was set at $55,000. The victim was transported by air to the trauma center at Renown Medical Center in Reno with life-threatening injuries. We'll be back with more news.